The Clockmaker's Secret. Elias Rothman's workshop was never silent. Even in the stillness of early morning, clocks ticked softly from every wall. Grandfather clocks, mantel clocks, pocket watches resting in velvet-lined drawers. Each tick was precise, measured, obedient. Time, in Elias's world, never rushed. It never hesitated. It simply moved. For 40 years, Elias had been known as the town's finest clockmaker. People traveled long distances to repair heirlooms entrusted only to his steady hands. He repaired timepieces the way others restored paintings, with reverence. Yet among all the clocks in his workshop, one stood apart. It rested beneath a linen cloth on his central work table, unfinished. The clock had no face, no hands. Inside, its gears were flawless, perfectly aligned, polished, waiting. Elias had built it slowly, intentionally, over many years, but he had never completed it. No one knew why. When asked, Elias always replied the same way: "It is not ready." Most accepted this answer. Some whispered theories. Others dismissed it as the eccentricity of an aging craftsman. But the truth was simpler and heavier. Years earlier, Elias had been offered a prestigious position in Zurich. It was the opportunity of a lifetime, recognition, wealth, legacy. But accepting it meant leaving his wife and young son behind, temporarily. "I'll return soon," he promised. Soon became years. By the time Elias returned, his marriage had collapsed under absence, and his son had grown distant, resentful of a father who measured time but never seemed to have any. Elias buried himself deeper into his work. He perfected clocks. He repaired broken timepieces, but he never repaired what he had neglected. The unfinished clock became his private confession. One winter afternoon, a young traveler named Tomas entered the shop. Snow clung to his coat, curiosity bright in his eyes. "I've never seen so many clocks. Do they ever make you anxious?" Elias smiled faintly. "No, they remind me that time is honest." Tomas noticed the covered clock. "Why is that one hidden?" he asked. Elias hesitated. "Because it asks a question most people avoid." Tomas returned the next day, and the next. He listened as Elias spoke, not about mechanics, but about life, about missed moments, about how easy it is to confuse being busy with being meaningful. One evening, Tomas asked, "If time is honest, why hide from it?" That night, Elias uncovered the clock. He worked through the darkness, assembling the final pieces. At dawn, the clock stood complete, except for one thing. It still had no hands. When Tomas returned, he stared in confusion. "It doesn't tell time." Elias nodded. "Exactly." He explained that the clock was never meant to measure hours or minutes. It was designed to remind people of something else, that time does not decide purpose. People do. The clock began to draw attention. Visitors came, puzzled. Some scoffed. Others stayed, thinking. Elias placed a small plaque beneath it. "Time will move whether you do or not. What you do with it is your responsibility." Before winter ended, Elias sent a letter to his son. Not an apology wrapped in explanations, just truth, regret, hope. Weeks later, his son arrived. They stood together in the workshop, listening to the ticking. "You always fixed clocks," his son said quietly. "I wondered why you never fixed us." Elias swallowed. "I was afraid to stop measuring time long enough to live in it." They stood in silence. The unfinished years did not disappear, but something else appeared instead: intention. The clockmaker's secret was never about perfection. It was about choice.